Gizmo, you know what time it is. It's time for another story.
Hello, Mr. Green, and hello, children. You can always count on me to whip up a real banger. And boy, do I have a good one for you tonight. Yes, I think it's about time the kids go to the moon, wouldn't you say? I don't want to spoil any details, so let me just get right to it.
Oh, I like this one. I like it. All right. Looks like we got it here, kids. You all set?
Yeah!
All right. Once upon a time, in a cozy neighborhood where 7 lively cousins lived, an extraordinary idea sparked in Evelyn's imaginative mind.
What if we build a spaceship and fly it to the moon to see if it's really made of cheese?
She exclaimed one sunny afternoon. The idea immediately captivated her cousins, Xander, Zach, Phoebe, Frank, Mara, and Hudson. The cousins began scouring their homes for materials. They gathered cardboard boxes, silver foil, colorful buttons, and all sorts of toys. Spaceship Sparkle Cheese was the name they chose for their craft. The cousins' enthusiasm was boundless as they embarked on their ambitious project. Each of them contributed their unique skills and ideas to the project. Xander and Frank, with their knack for tinkering, disassembled old power tools, carefully extracting batteries and motors. These were repurposed to power the spaceship's engines. Hudson figured out how to connect the batteries in series for maximum power. Meanwhile, Mara and Phoebe, the artists of the group, meticulously painted stars and planets on the sides of the spaceship, turning it into a colorful cosmic vessel. Zach, normally eating markers, this time used his markers to draw intricate control panels and gauges inside, making it look like a real cockpit. The spaceship's frame was built from the sturdiest cardboard boxes they could find. They reinforced the structure with tape and used tinfoil to protect themselves from cosmic radiation. The makeshift wings, crafted from large cardboard sheets, were attached securely to the sides. With the spaceship complete, the cousins carried their creation out to the yard.
Mission Control, this is Spaceship Sparkle Cheese. We are ready to launch.
Xander announced into a makeshift radio fashioned from Frank's walkie-talkie.
Roger that, Sparkle Cheese. Countdown beginning.
Replied Frank. The cousins braced themselves. 3, 2, 1.
Blast off!
Once they were fully in space, the cousins unstrapped themselves to experience the marvel of zero gravity. Floating in the cabin, they shared excited glances and laughed, their voices mingling in a symphony of joy and astonishment. Xander, always starving, opened their food stash and announced,
Time for a snack attack!
He playfully tossed sandwiches, fruit, and cookies into the air. The cousins floating in zero gravity laughed as they caught the snacks with their mouths. Mara snagged an apple slice. Hudson grabbed floating grapes, and Frank skillfully intercepted a sandwich. Evelyn's laughter echoed as she caught cookies, while Phoebe and Zach did flips in the air while catching mini carrots in their mouths. Hours turned into days as they continued their journey to the moon. As their snacks began to dwindle, a realization slowly dawned upon them. Hudson, peering into the nearly empty snack box, voiced the concern.
Guys, our snacks are almost gone.
A wave of concern swept through the spaceship. They gathered around the snack box, counting the remaining packets. The truth was clear. They had underestimated the duration of their journey, and their supplies were running dangerously low. A tense silence filled the spaceship. The joy of their space adventure was now soured with the realization that they would need to start rationing their food. At first, each cousin thought of reasons why they should get more food.
I brought the walkie-talkie.
Claimed Frank.
But I'm the prettiest.
Argued Evelyn. The debate grew until Mara said softly,
Maybe we can all share?
Her words struck a chord. They realized that being selfish wasn't the way. From then on, they shared everything equally, making sure even the youngest got their fair share. When the snacks were only down to crumbs, The older cousins prioritized Mara and Phoebe, ensuring they weren't hungry. Finally, spaceship Sparkle Cheese touched down on the moon's surface. The cousins' eyes, wide with excitement, unbuckled and hurried to the latch. As the door opened, they were greeted by a sight beyond their wildest dreams. The moon was indeed made of cheese, and there, to greet them, was the president of the moon, Sir Winklecheese.
Greetings, young travelers. You look surprised to see that the moon is indeed made of cheese. Please, have all you can eat.
Before them lay a vast and varied landscape of cheeses. Mountains of sharp cheddar rose majestically into the sky. Valleys of creamy brie and camembert stretch out in soft, inviting folds, and rivers of molten nacho cheese flowed gently, casting a golden glow upon the landscape. Enormous craters were filled with crumbly feta and blue cheese, while fields of stringy mozzarella and Swiss cheese with its distinctive holes dotted the horizon. In the distance, a forest of Parmesan trees rustled in the gentle lunar breeze, their leaves a delicate blend of pecorino and asiago. Glistening in the moonlight was a lake of rich gorgonzola, surrounded by pebbly beaches of grated Parmigiano Reggiano. The cousins couldn't contain their joy. They bounced around in the low gravity, stuffing their little faces with cheesy goodness. They slid down cheddar hills, built forts of Gouda blocks, and even had a playful cheeseball fight with chunks of Havarti and Colby. After hours of munching on a delightful variety of fromage, the cousins' bellies were finally full. Content and happy, they found a cozy spot in a meadow of soft, fluffy ricotta. One by one, they nestled into the cheesy landscape, their eyes heavy with the day's excitement. As the earth shone like a blue marble in the distance, the cousins, surrounded by the moon, drifted off into a deep, cheesy slumber.
Thanks, Gizmo!
Gizmo, that was a phenomenal story. Thank you so much.
Mr. Green, it was my absolute pleasure. If you're not hungry for some cheddar, brie, camembert, feta, blue cheese, mozzarella, Swiss, parmesan, pecorino, asiago, gorgonzola, ricotta, and nacho cheese after that one, then there must be something wrong with you. Actually, I don't blame you if you don't want any Swiss cheese. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. Amidst all the silliness of this story, a wonderful lesson emerged. That lesson, as you may recall, was to put others' needs before our own. When the kids started to run low on snacks, although they initially tried to come up with reasons why they should get the remaining munchies, they ultimately decided to share the snacks equally. Then, when their supplies ran low, the older children prioritized the needs of the younger ones. Of course, it all paid off once they arrived to the moon. Greeted by President Winklecheese, the children were invited to stuff their little faces full of every cheese known to moonkind. Well, that's all for tonight, kids. Keep dreaming and imagining, and always keep the wonder alive. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to be featured in our next adventure, be sure to reach out to us at storytimegizmo.com, which is linked in the description.